super excited to be here. I'm here currently representing the University of Michigan Global Scholars Program. We've had the distinct pleasure of working with the High Atlas Foundation this entire year, 2 school semesters, on amazing projects connecting the High Atlas Foundation with the administration at the University of Michigan, as well as completing other mini tasks, including a very successful fundraising campaign which just concluded, as well as this amazing Earth Day celebration. We obviously have some almond trees being planted, and I'm here to announce that we've been able to partner with the Sustainable Food Program at the University of Michigan, and I currently have this planter, which represents a blue spruce tree that I'm planting here in my own personal garden. We will also be planting an additional blue spruce tree in recognizance of our work with the High Atlas Foundation. As soon as the summer task force begins with the Sustainable Food Program, we will be planting a blue spruce tree with them as well. But here I have my little seedling growing in this mini planter, and it definitely represents the amazing work that we've been able to do with High Atlas Foundation. As as tiny as it's been, just this 1 year for all the years that the High Atlas Foundation has been around, it just showcases how passionate we are, and we want to be able to continue that partnership going forward with the Global Scholars Program. Thank you everyone for joining us, and yeah.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Caroline, so much. I wanted to see, so did you say it was a spruce tree, Caroline?
Yes, a blue spruce tree.
And is that native to Michigan? Is there anything you can say about the qualities, special qualities of a spruce tree?
I actually picked the blue spruce because it's the tree that I had in my yard when I grew up. There are a couple of other native trees we were considering as well, but this just hit very close to home, and I had a gardening friend who was able to give me the seeds for free. But I think in general, I can't speak to the innate qualities that it could provide for a garden just because I'm, I don't necessarily know that. But I will say that, at least for me, growing up in Michigan, having spruce around, it's always very nice, airy, aromatic, and it just really provides the garden with a really lovely tree, I would say. And it provides a lot of great memories for me as well. Very excited to plant my own in my garden, and then as well plant one with the Sustainable Food Program on the University of Michigan campus.
Isn't that, so I mean, the first thing you said about it, that there's, it connects to your childhood in some way. And of course, we're planting with young folks right now in Chichaoua with Abdeljalil. There's something about early childhood experiences with trees that we seem to carry forward in our lives. I'm wondering, we have guests with us, and I wasn't necessarily planning to open up to everyone, but it's our nature to do that. But does anyone want to relate to that point of how an early childhood tree experience has brought back an activity or something in our adulthood that we carry forward from that early life experience related to trees? Just as Caroline has done on Earth Day related to the blue spruce? Well, it's a thought that we may not have to answer, but it's an interesting thought. And I will say this, that when we've had the fortune of planting with over 650 schools in Morocco, and when we go back to visit a school, we often hear from the young people who were there from the earlier visit that it was a day that they cherish. It was a day that they'll, that they truly remember. And there's something about, going outside, and I was outside, but my reception wasn't so great out there. There's something about being outside and taking that time in our day and then planting with our hands and caring for that tree and watching it grow, and that being sort of deeply imprinted in us, and that it may inform our future activities as we go forward. And that's the idea. And that's why Abdeljalil is there. And that's why we focus so heavily on planting with schools in Morocco, because we want to create those everlasting memories. Abdeljalil, واش كتسمعنا؟
ويسي يوسف كنسمعكم.
واش نتوما واش درتوا حفرين ولا مازال؟
موجودة على الحفراية موجودة.
So okay, so they've already dug the holes. I think when it comes to doing a good deed, let's not wait. So in غرسوا الشجر على سبب حفرين موجودين، دراري موجودين، الماء موجود، التراب كاين، شجر كرابنا، يلا نغرسوا شجر. عبد الجليل واخا؟
يلا دابا السي يوسف قال لك نغرسوا اش غادي نديروا دابا؟ علاش غادي نغرسوا هاد الشجره اليوم؟ كيف تغرسون شجره؟ هيا يلا من سيغرس؟ شدك يلا قول لي يلا معكم ورشات ورشات الشجر. يعني دابا غادي نخليكم نتوما غادي توريوني كيفاش درنا التغرس لهذوك الاشجار كاملين. كيف يتصوع؟ يلا دابا وريونا كيفاش نغرسوا الشجره. يلا غادي نشوفوهم كاملين. اذا مع الحفاظ على التباعد. خديجه
واش هاد الشجره هي اللوز؟
هي شجره من جيل الكيس بلاستيكي. كيف؟ يلا سير.
سي عبد الجليل واش لوز هذا؟ واش لوز هذه؟
لوز هذه.
واش دراري واش كيعرفوا شحال منهم غتسكن؟
شحال قال لكم السي يوسف؟ شحال من عام غادي تصبح الشجره؟ 50 سنه. 50 سنه او اكثر.
على حسب كيف نهتموا فيها.
قال لك
اذا اهتممنا بها كثيرا فسوف تبقى لاجيال قادمه.
قال لك كود ما تخلينا فيها مزيان غادي تبقى بزاف اكثر من 50 عام.
So I asked, do the students know how many years the almond tree will live? And they said more than 50 years. And of course they know exactly what they're talking about. And that in their terrain, it particularly takes root well.
يلا نتوكل على الله. بسم الله بسم الله. سير معاه.
I'm not sure if this may be an opportune time to share a wonderful poem, while we're fixing internet issues, if that works.
That's a great idea, Caroline. Amazing.
I chose a poem called The Speaking Tree by US Poet Laureate Joy Harjo. She's an Oklahoma native, a member of the Creek Nation, and the first Native American, and I think the first poet laureate ever, but the first Native American to hold that esteemed honor. So she starts out her poem with a wonderful quote from Sandra Cisneros. I had a beautiful dream. I was dancing with a tree. Some things on this earth are unspeakable. Genealogy of the broken, a shy wind threading leaves after a massacre, or the smell of coffee and no one there. Some humans say trees are not sentient beings, but they do not understand poetry, nor can they hear the singing of trees when they are fed by wind or water music, or hear their cries of anguish when they are broken and bereft. Now I am a woman longing to be a tree, planted in a moist, dark earth between sunrise and sunset. I cannot walk through all the realms. I carry a yearning I cannot bear alone in the dark. What shall I do with all this heartache? The deepest rooted dream of a tree is to walk, even just a little ways from the place next to the doorway, to the edge of the river of life and drink. I have heard trees talking long after the sun has gone down. Imagine what it would be like to dance close together in this land of water and knowledge, to drink deep what is undrinkable. And that is a wonderful poem by U.S. Poet Laureate Joy Harjo.
Thank you, Caroline. I guess I'm tempted to ask Caroline what of all the poems what drew you to that one? What's the message within it that inspired you to share it with us? And what gives it its most meaning to you?
Well, of course, I have to draw a note to the U.S. Poet Laureate Joy Harjo. She has made a tremendous effort to include a lot of climate change related issues in her pieces. And as the U.S. Poet Laureate, it is a part of your job responsibility to bring a centered consciousness around particular issues that exist within the United States. And I think that the poem itself, while I can't speak to every innate meaning, I'm not necessarily a poet myself, but I think many people don't realize, I think you spoke about this earlier, how impactful trees are in our lives, and how when we see them as, you know, just inanimate objects, they become less important. But I believe that trees are living beings, they are sentient beings. That's not necessarily, you know, out of the realm of possibility. They dance and they, you know, they are essentially beings that exist in the earth. And when we plant new ones, it helps us as people live and animals live. And I really appreciated how this poem kind of spoke to the life within a tree, not just the fact that it's planted in the ground and provides us oxygen, or it could provide us food, but the way that, you know, they live and exist. And I really appreciated that.
Yeah, so well said. And you are a poet and an orator as well. You know, what you just said, in a sense, is a guiding premise to how we plant trees in Morocco. You described trees as a sort of a mirror of humanity, of our unimaginable range. And so, and that's and the way you described it, so often we may think of trees in the physical sense in what they do for nature, but when we see a tree planted in Morocco, we also see interfaith, and we also see gender justice, and we see urban and rural coming together, and we see people of different ages. And I often think of that tree that was put in the ground because of this reflection of humanity that came together. And what a tree, what a fortunate, what a birth in a way, what a start. And so, and that also makes us realize too, that how we begin our journey is so important. Hi, Ian, good to see you. And talk about interfaith and trees, there's Ian from the University of Virginia. And I do want to, you know, it's you, Caroline, from the University of Michigan, Ian from the University of Virginia. These are such special relationships, and also part of that mirror that it's university and it's education and it's bringing, and it's university community relationships, and it's experiential learning, and you know, and we can keep building on that mirror of such vast, you know, even diversity doesn't capture the level of diversity. It's just a reflection of totality and the immensity of range within it. But these university partnerships, I'm not sure we would even be having this moment together with the children in Chichaoua if not for the university partnerships. And I want to thank the University of Virginia. I want to thank the University of Michigan. I want to thank Hadiaya University in Morocco, Sidi Mohammed bin Abdullah University in Morocco, because of the people that enable us to do what we're doing because of Caroline, because of Ian, because of Zineb yesterday, because of, and I'm thinking of so many names and faces right now. So that poem, I think, captures, what ought to stretch our mind so completely, because trees, and you know what else about trees, and I feel like I'm going on a little bit here, but trees also are, it's an activity we can do in a pandemic. To think that it's of all times and places and occasions, and even in COVID-19. And even in this time, we've been able to plant more and engage more communities safely than any other year. And doesn't that show the adaptability and brilliance of trees, that it doesn't stop even when so much of other parts of our world stops? And so, I just, I'm feeling Earth Day right now. I guess that's what and I want to, again, if any one of us on this, sharing this call, this conference, this gathering, anyone want to reflect on what it means to plant, what a tree means to you, what you hope to plant in your future, what you're proud of planting in your past, any thought to share about putting something in the ground, we'd be all so happy to hear it. Katie, you want to say?
Sure.
Go ahead, Katie.
I do want to say something. Hi everyone. I'm Katie. I'm with HAF, but I've been working remotely from my hometown in Louisiana for a large part of the pandemic. And being home has been interesting in a lot of ways, but having been away for so long, it's been really wonderful to reappreciate the beautiful live oak trees that we have. They're truly special. And I, didn't necessarily plant any of them. They're hundreds of years old. But it's really something that is unique to the area that has been really wonderful. And kind of along with that, I remember my dad planting the trees in our yard about 20, 25 years ago, and, from saplings. And I mean, without them, our space would be so much less homey. And they're, homes to all kinds of creatures and birds now. So it's just something that really makes home, planting trees. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to acknowledge, if I may, Martine Roberts, who's on our board of directors and who cares from her heart, from so much about Morocco, so much about the mission of the High Atlas Foundation. And I just want to acknowledge all the important support she's given. Ellen Hernandez is here, a professor of English, who has also enabled us to do so much more because of her dedication and energy. And I want to just give a sincere thanks to them. I see Dudley, I see Margaret. Thank you for believing in the High Atlas Foundation, in enabling the students of the University of Virginia to participate in making a difference in Morocco. They've made a profound difference. And I just hope that they've also gained the way they've given so much. So let's, can Abdeljalil hear us?
Abdeljalil is still here. We also have Kaoutar and Essaouira.
Oh, Kaoutar, all right. Kaoutar, Kidera. Kaoutar, inti labas, koshimiziens, halabas.
Alhamdulillah, بخير.
Alhamdulillah, Kidera Essaouira اليوم. Hello, Hajiba. Kidera Hajiba.
How are you?
I'm so proud of our colleagues, Hajiba and Kaoutar. Hajiba is our women's empowerment trainer. Who's next? Shkun Hedak, Hajiba?
She is a member of Argan Mogador Cooperative. It's Mrs. Hadriya from the cooperative. she will join us for planting argan tree together today, and we are really in amazing place. I hope that if you can see it.
Yeah, I can.
And so Argan, واش ممكن نسولو هاد سيدة شي حاجة؟
Yes, Mr. Yossef.
So واسمح لي عاودي سميتك واسمح لي أنا ما سمعت سميتك ليلى.
حضرية.
هدرية. شحال من عام عندها التاونية ديالكم؟ How many years has your cooperative?
هي منين بدات؟
بدات
19 عام.
13 عام.
2000
13 years. وشحال من واحدة كاينة ندخل هي ندخل التاونية شحال من واحدة كاينة؟
دابا 31 واحد شخص.
30. So there are 30 members in her cooperative. And واش نتوما كترصوا شجر وكديروا الزيت واش كديروا بالضبط؟
كنديروا الزيت وكنديروا املو وكنتكوا اركان افجاش بزاف د الحوايج كندير على اركان كنتكوا اركان كيشو.
Okay, so they make argan oil, and they also mix the argan oil with an almond, and it's called amalu, and it's just incredibly healthy, anti-inflammatory. I can get into all the qualities of amalu, but اسمح لي بزاف غادي نتكلموا مع اخواننا في شيشاوا وغادي نرجعوا الصويره واخا على سبيل التلاميذ بغاو يرجعوا القسم ديالهم. We're going to have to go back to Chichaoua because the children need to go back to class, and so we're going to plant the tree in Chichaoua, and then we'll go back to Essaouira. Abdeljalil, تفضل لافك مع التلاميذ.
سي يوسف من بعد ما غرسنا الشجره التلاميذ دخلوا للقسم.
اوكي.
خدامين دايرين ورشات ديال الرص احتفالا باليوم العالمي للارض. دايرين الريسيكلاج، دايرين التدوير. انا نقول لها اش قديتي، انا نشوف اش قديتي. سميتك؟ هضري مزيان. اش قديتي اليوم؟
حاملة ريشة.
ابتسام قدت بمناسبة اليوم العالمي للأرض من بعد ما شجرنا دارت الريسيكلاج القارورة حولتها الحاملة ديال الأقلام.
Shukram Yossef. So in the spirit of Earth Day, they are also making those beautiful art and crafts. I'm going Abdeljalil, واش ممكن غتسول التلاميذ ايش بغاو يديروا في المستقبل ديالهم؟ كيفاش كيشوفوا المستقبل؟ ايش من خدمة هما بغاو؟ I asked if he could ask the children what would they like to do in their futures?
اش بغيتوا تكونوا في المستقبل؟ كيفاش تشوفوا المستقبل ديالكم؟ كل واحد يقول لي اش بغا يكون في المستقبل وكيفاش انت تقول لي هضر مزيان استاذ.
So a teacher, professor?
استاذ هو بيكون بيلوت.
Right. ان شاء الله.
أريد أن أكون شرطي.
شرطي بيلوت. هيا بغات تكون بيلوت
ان شاء الله قريب ان شاء الله.
أكون عسكري.
بتكون جندية. هيا جندية.
أنا ما سمعتش judge. I think I heard. Go ahead.
شرطية.
وكيفاش كتشوفوا المستقبل؟ واش كاين شي تحسن ولا كيفاش تشوفوا المستقبل؟ وقف
أرى مستقبلي
ان شاء الله. كيفاش تشوفوا المستقبل؟ واش كاين شي تغيير؟
سوف يتحقق مثلكم.
اييه.
وأنا أيضا كما قلت.
واش كاين شي عرق كاين مثلا انتم دابا في المدرسه واش كاين شي عرق كاين؟ واش كاين شي احتياجات واش كاين شي معيقات باش تكون استاذ، باش تكون طبيب، باش تكون بيلوت؟ واش كاين شي معيقات اللي كتحسك باش نعم؟
هناك بعض المعيقات من بينها طريق التطور وهي اكثر المعيقات.
قال لك عنده مشكل في الطريق للمدرسه.
They said that their challenge is that they have the road to the school is not. إيش المشكلة بالضبط? They said there's a problem with the road to the school, and I'm asking what exactly is the problem.
قال لك بعيده الدار ب4 كيلومتر يتجه على رجليه.
So they have to walk 4 kilometers to school. إلى كاين الشتاء وش الشتاء كتحيد الطريق ولا واخا الشتاء ممكن غدوزو؟
الشتاء
يمكن تدوز. الا كاين الشتاء ما تقدرش تجي للمدرسه.
كتكون صعيبه بزاف.
علاش؟
حيت كتكون الطريق مغيب.
So if there's rain, it's they can't sometimes go to school because they can't pass the river.
وشنو المعيقات الاخرين؟ كيفاش كاين الاحتياجات ديال المصاريف ديال الدراسه. قال لك باش تحقق المستقبل ديالها عندها مصاريف ديال التنقل، مصاريف ديال الدراسه ياك.
So they just want to have more complete studies. Did I get that right, Katie? I'm not sure I heard everything, but they want to have more range of subjects, more different subjects, additional subjects. واش هما فرحانين؟ واش فرحانين؟ واش بخيرين؟ واش كل شيء مزيان؟ واش فرحانين مع صحابهم في بلادهم؟
دابا قال لكم السي يوسف الرئيس ديال المؤسسه، واش انتم فرحانين؟
I asked if you're happy. Are they happy? And they said, and you saw their reaction. Okay. So بغينا نقول لهم بارك الله فيكم، هما بزاف وان شاء الله غادي نرجو قبل من عام اللي جاي، غادي نرجو مرة صيف ولا قبل من صيف، وغادي نرسو شجر في شهر 12 ولا قبل واخا.
يقولوا لكم مرحبا وشكرا بزاف.
Okay, I said we'll be back before Abdeljalil. واش كتمشي شحال من مرة هاد العام مشيتي لهاد الدوار؟ How many times this year did you go to visit this village and work with this village?
هذه المرة الثانية. It is the second time.
هاد العام؟
هاد العام. Yeah.
Okay. So إن شاء الله غادي نرجو أنتم ونخدموا مع الدوار القبيلة كلها.
ان شاء الله. عندنا في هذه البلاصه بالضبط غرسنا مع تقريبا 5 ديال المدارس.
So in the area we planted with 5 schools in this particular community of villages.
سمعت السيوس باش قالوا لك؟
أنا اسمح لي ما سمعتش.
قالوا لك هما سفراء ديال مؤسسة الأطلس الكبير. هادشي اللي شافوه هما سفراء ديال المؤسسة.
Oh, inshallah. They've enjoyed the day planting and they're expressing appreciation toward Abdeljalil and the foundation.
Thank you very much for everyone.
Thank you. Barakallah fikum, ولادنا بناتنا دراري تعلمي barakallah fikum. Bye. بغينا نكون بزاف. باي. شكرا عبدالجليل، شكرا معلم. سميتو ديال المعلم انتما؟
هو بيهضر معاك. هو
بارك الله فيكم معلمين اساتذه ديالنا، بارك الله فيكم بزاف.
يوسف, the teacher, do you want to say a word for you?
Yes.
We would like to thank the Association of High Atlas for its help and association and coordination with our students. We learned a lot about the environment and how to protect the earth. And our students are very happy to be celebrating the Earth Day today with all over the world, other students from other countries. And we wish you a very happy Earth Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. What's your name?
My name is Amin.
Amin. Are you from Chichaoua?
I'm from Marrakech, actually.
You're from Marrakech.
Yeah.
And your colleague?
Yeah, my colleague too is from Marrakech. We go like each day from Marrakech to Chichaoua to teach our students here.
So that's about an hour and a half travel every day, each way.
It's like 40 kilometers, so 1 hour traveling.
1 hour traveling. And how do you travel? By bus or by car?
My car, our personal car.
And you drive there, you drive together?
Yes, yes.
Well, good luck and take care of yourselves. And we wish you a wonderful, not just Earth Day, but Earth Year, Earth Life, Dima.
Thank you, Mr.
Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Kareem. And
thank you for your talk. Thank you very much.
Yossef, thank you.
Okay, all the best. La'alkum. Take care. Bye, 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 everyone. So if it's okay, we're going to return to Essaouira. And Kaoutar and our friends, we're going to plant an argan tree. وشرسنا هاد شجرة ولا مازال هاي هجيبة.
Hi, Mr. Yossef. Can you see me? We are in Essaouira province, in Onaga commune with the Argan Mogador Cooperative. We are with Mr. Abdeljalil, who helped us really to dig a hole and for planting trees. He prepared the hole. غادي نزيدوا له داك المخبار غنزيدوا غير شويه السلع باش ما يحرقش
So
we start with the carrot tree. إذا بغى يغرسها قريبه للماء باش يسقيها مزيان. Then we will move to plant argan tree. Because we have different species, argan, carob, almond. Because we want really to fruit with
So Hajiba mentioned that they are mixing it with fertilizer. That's what they're doing right now in that sack next to it. And that they're actually planting first in a carob tree. And carob is a remarkable tree. It's in Morocco, it's classified as a forestry tree. It can live up to 200 years. It takes a while to mature, 10, 12 years, but a mature carob tree at 18, 20, 22 years old can yield up to 500 kilos, if you can believe it. And right now, a kilo, including the outer bark of the seed, the pod, the entire pod goes for about $1.20 a kilo. And so it's the next generation that will benefit most profoundly from it. But a carob is it's a blessing of a tree, as they all are. But carob is just remarkable. And Morocco has an endemic variety of carob. And those are the varieties that the HAF Foundation and its community partners, those are the varieties that are planted in the nurseries. I will say, maybe this is just too much detail, but we're able to produce and monitor with our partners a tree for about 40 cents. And if one were to buy a carob tree in a nursery, one will pay probably $1.40. So we're able to produce a tree and monitor that tree twice in a 5-year period for about 40 cents. And that's just because of the value we retain by growing them in nurseries with communities, with the growers themselves. Hajiba, so, and I'm also reminded they're in Essaouira, and we can see the wind, and Essaouira is known for its incredible wind. And so Morocco has also concentrated windmills for renewable energy in the Essaouira province because of the winds that it most constantly has. And that looks like a argan tree to me, a relatively young one. Hajiba, so what are we going to be doing now, Hajiba?
دابا غادي نغرسوا الاركان حيتاش الصويره معروفه يعني الاقليم الوحيد في المغرب اللي عنده اكبر عدد واكبر الهكتارات مغروسه بالاركان هي في الصويره. يعني عندها واحد الثروه غابويه كبيره اللي هي الاركان، والناس ديال هنا كيحاولوا يحافظوا عليه. اكبر مثال هو هاد التعاونيه اللي مشينا عندهم وبرفقه السي عبد الكريم، يعني مول هاد الارض هذه بغى يغرس الاركان، واخا الارض عنده فيها اركان بغى يزيد اركان يغرسوا في البلايص الاخرين اللي عندهم خاويين في الارض. يعني بالنسبه لهم اركان ماشي غير شجره عاديه، وانما واحد الشجره اللي خلقت لهم فرصه انهم يحييوا العجله الاقتصاديه ديال الاقليم ديالهم عن طريق خلق هذوك التعاونيات ديال الاركان.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Hajiba. I'm going to say a word of what you said. Hajiba just described the magnificence of Argan, as so many of us know and appreciate. And they are in the Essaouira is the sole location of Argan. And I say that because we've also learned that Argan can grow in other parts of Morocco. With Frey Skincare and partners, we're able to have a nursery right now of upwards of 60,000 argan plants, and we share them with partners outside of Essaouira, even as far out as Oujda and in other parts, and we've seen argan take root. And so many of us have for so long thought that we must be in Essaouira to plant argan, and what we've discovered by analyzing historical texts was that argan was in other places, and we tested that notion that it can take root elsewhere, and so it does. And so what's important about community nurseries is that it allows for that kind of testing. Argan nurseries is generally managed by the government, and it concentrates its planting in those classic regions of Morocco. But with a community nursery, we're able to see if it can go further than that. And thankfully, it's shown to be so. Hajiba described how this farmer, Hajiba, اسميتو المول أرض.
سي عبد الكريم ممكن تهضر مع السيد؟ سي
عبد الكريم سميتو؟
ولا السيد؟
سي عبد الكريم.
نعم سيدي.
واش انت لاباس؟ كل شيء بخير؟
الحمد لله، الله يحفظك.
رمضان كريم وشكرا بزاف على كل شيء كدير.
الله يحفظك. وين تجي؟
علاش بغيتي ارغان واش هاد ارض واش كبرتي في هاد المنطقه انت كنتي انت واش كنتي انت كل حياتك؟
وحنا ارغان راه عشنا فيه راه جدودنا مخلينا هذا الشيء ماشي ارغان راه شجره مباركه.
It's a blessing tree.
الاشجار ماشي شي حاجه كل حاجه كتاخذ قيمتها كل حاجه.
انت ولد الصويره؟
بلاصه هنايا مسقط
والارض تاع عشتي وفلاح يعني معاه
ديما.
And this is the land of his family going well back. He mentioned how his grandfather planted argan in this very place.
Yes. Yes, I can add that Mr. Abdelkarim planted 2020 olive fruit tree, organic fruit tree in his land, and today he had another quantity of tree. So تبارك الله عليك 1022 شجره اللي غرس
222 وكاينه تقريبا شي 400 كرم وكاينه الداليه كاينه شي 30.
He also planted 400 fig trees, and today was 222 trees today. So they've been very busy.
And Mr. Abdelkarim shared with us that he has a land in the forestry where they planted almost 700 argan tree. وكتعطي الغله السي عبد الكريم
هذا العام شويه
and it's give them fruit. He said that every year give them seeds, argan seeds, except this year because of less what? Rain. Yeah, less rain.
So he said less rain?
هاد العام كانت الشتاء شويه قليله داكشي باش
So think about this, friends. We just were in Chichaoua and Essaouira. These are two provinces in the same Marrakech region. And Chichaoua, there was plenty of rain, as they described it, and in Essaouira there wasn't. And so, yes, in most places of Morocco this year, they benefited from really good rain, but it's always striking how the same region didn't get the same benefit. And that's also, we found the same in where I was just in the northeast of the country in Oujda last week, and the people remarked the same observation. If only every place got just the right amount of rain it needed for that location. Please, one day, let such fairness be. And so it really, when we live by trees, the feeling, I know a lot of you know this emotion, but when rains come, there is no greater sense of accomplishment. There's nothing we need to do that day if it rains. We've done the most, we've written a book, and we accomplished every proposal, and we've taught every class, and we've reached sky high. That's the feeling of when rain comes, of total accomplishment for that time and day. And it's just wonderful. And for a lot of Morocco, this past rainy season, we had that good feeling of contentment. So I just want to remark that the interfaith, we have a comment about interfaith, and I just want to say that for Morocco, Muslim and Jewish people working together to promote human development is, I would say, natural or not particularly exceptional because it's Moroccan. It happens here. Interfaith occurs here. It has occurred here. And what makes it most special and remarkable is that the world needs so much to see that message. And we're just so grateful to be working in a country that wants and that the government actually puts money toward not just policy, but resources toward the Moroccan Jewish and Moroccan Muslim people working together to plant, to build, to promote livelihood, to enhance food security, to deal with erosion. That multiculturalism and interfaith is actually essential for the fulfillment of sustainability. It's not just nice to have, but it's actually critical, because what's brought to bear by interfaith is a exponential increase of the amount of resources. And one example is this: the Moroccan Jewish, Moroccan Christian communities have land all around the country that is lent, that can be lent in kind for farmers to build their nurseries. They have more land than even the government agency responsible to build nurseries. And when a country needs of well-being, it's a matter of achieving the agricultural transition. And it's a vehicle toward people having diversity of diet and all those things. So I'm going on, but just know that it's real in Morocco, and not just by people who have dedicated, but by all sectors and by the faith groups themselves. And that's a message we are dedicated to sharing as wide as possible. Hajiba, can we say anything else about the cooperative there?
دابا تيوسعني تقريبا غنحاولوا نخلصوا لاست ارغان تري مع السي كريم for the cooperative نيتهم يعني بالنسبه لهم التعاونيه ديال الاركان هي واحد النقطه اللي حولت لهم يعني حياتهم وعاونتهم، يعني ولاو قادرين انهم يعاونوا راسهم. يعني الاركان كوبيراتيف عاونت العيالات باش يوليو قويات بوحدهم. يعني we can say that Argan Cooperative help in empowering women. لاله حضريه اجي معايا و مدام حضريه كان يعني ممكن تشاركي معنا شنو عطاتك هذا الكوبيراتيف، يعني كيفاش عاونتك هذا الكوبيراتيف ديال الاركان انك شنو اللي بدات لك في حياتك، يعني ممكن تهضري معنا. انا استفدت بزاف في حياتي ماشي.
تفضلي لاله.
كتسمع السيوس؟
كنسمعوا.
لا كيفاش كتشوفي المستقبل ديالك ديال التاونيه؟ اش بغيتوا بزاف في المستقبل ديالكم؟
كنتمنى انا بزاف، بديت نستافد بزاف د الحوايج، تعلمت كيفاش نتصرف مع الناس، بديت نعرف كيفاش كنتعامل مع الاخوات بزاف، كيفاش الناس كتعامل مع الجروب الا جاو، كيفاش كان بزاف د الحوايج. زعما ماشي حاجه، كنت واحد الانسانه اميه بزاف، ما كنتش قاريه، ما كنتش، ولكن دابا دوك وعيت على ملي كنت النفسيه ديالي ملي كنت يلاه هذا، والحمد لله بزاف التعاونيه عطاتني بزاف د الحوايج، بزاف د الحوايج. كنخرج كنشوف العيالات، الناس انت ضاربين دوم على كنتو خدامين على ومشجعين الرسوم ناشطين، الحمد لله بخير على حال. عندهم واحد المدخول، ولكن ما كان هذاك واخا قليل، تتمنوا هما فرحانين بيه، واخا الحمد لله هذا المدخول عاونتي بيه وليداتك لا حضريه. الحمد لله عاونت بيه وليداتي، ما نقولش ولدي قريتو راه دخل ودابا عنده الباك، والبنيه كتقرا ليا في الثاني، الدوره الاولى والثانيه راه كنتمنى الله تعالى سمعتيها مزيان السيوس؟
Yes, I heard. So she described the different needs of her community in education and health, and how the cooperative is trying to make a difference in those areas. But she said, that we need more. Even as the cooperative is helping, there's a lot more that needs to happen. And and she spoke, as you can see and feel, that she spoke very much from the heart about that. And just know that Kaoutar ula Hajiba مع هاد برنامج ديال farmer to farmer، مع هاد برنامج ديال مع كوسيا إن شاء الله غادي نخدموا معه مازال. And I said, just remind her if she could that through the USAID Farmer to Farmer program and with Ecosia, we remain dedicated to supporting their dreams. I'm wondering if maybe we should just start with final thoughts, if that's okay. And I guess the first thing I'll do in that regard is ask anyone on this shared conference, if anyone would like to share a thought or express any idea, please feel free. I would just like to reiterate a sincere gratitude on behalf of whoever I may speak on behalf of, which is really just me. But, maybe just reflect on the gratitude that many of us are that we are all feeling right now. And I want to really extend appreciation to the University of Michigan, to the University of Virginia, to the students of these incredible institutions who have energy and belief and care and work from the heart, and just an amazing amount of on behalf of Moroccan communities we serve. Thank you for that regular energy that you give. And I just want to also extend our thanks to the children in Chichaoua, to the cooperative in Essaouira, to you who've joined us. And am I wrong to want to thank the HAF team? But I do. I want to thank our own colleagues, because They live by this every day, and they travel far, and it does rain and they're outside, and it is cold and it is hot and it is Ramadan, and they still do it, and they do it with love. And so I've been blessed by colleagues that are forever in my heart. I want to extend appreciation to the board of directors, to our partners, Frey Skincare, Ecosia, Robert Bosch College, to UNDP, to USAID. I know I may be missing some, but the National Initiative for Human Development, to OES, to MEPI, and alhamdulillah, that there are, like trees, we need partners as we need trees, that many and as many as could be. So with that, I extend to you a beautiful day. And I guess we should just, it is Earth Day, and I guess the best thing we can say about Earth Day is that it inspires us to do things. And so for that, we thank Earth Day and their network for the inspiration. And I wish everyone Li Mohim, I wish everyone a beautiful Ramadan and health and happiness. And we look forward to next time, not next Earth Day, but well before. And all the best to you. Be well, everyone. La'ankum. Salam alaikum.